Okay, sorry about that. I drove up to Sam's Club and the Wi-Fi, my phone was picking up the Sam's Club Wi-Fi, my security software popped on. Ugh. You don't know frustrating until you start dealing with all these videos, man. These videos are a pain. Oh man, they're a pain. I got my goofy hat on. Anyway, okay, so the skeptics always have something to say, right? So in this case, they're going to say, oh, well, obviously, the planes are circling in the area because there's a buildup of traffic at the airport and they're waiting for an opportunity to land. Okay, yes. Okay, possibly. But why are they flying in concentric circles simultaneously? That's not normal. Anyway, you can't. I mean, it's just, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Okay, I understand that. So, you know, and for all I know, maybe that's what it'll turn out to be. But no, you know, when they fly in circles, they fly in giant circles, really big circles, waiting for an opportunity to land. They don't fly in relatively small circles and then make circles inside of circles and then leave permanent contrails behind them, and the kind of contrails that expand over the next 2 or 3 or 4 hours, and as they expand they remain visible, and then 6 or 8 or 10 hours the contrails turn into giant pollution blankets. No, that's not a contrail. That's something else. It's a chemtrail, whatever you want to call it. It's not a contrail. That's not what a contrail is, you know. And like I said, I was doing this for months and months, and there was never a clear day. And then the Mueller report came out, and 3 days later, they disappeared for 4 or 5 days. And they came back for 4 or 5 days, and they disappeared for a week, and they'd come back for a day, then they'd disappear for 2 weeks, and they'd come back for 2 days, and then they'd disappear for a month and a half, and they'd come back for a day or two. I mean, it's a very bizarre situation. Whatever it is, it's very bizarre. But, you know, the more you study it, the more you look at it, the more you think about it, the more you hear other people talk about it, the more you hear the skeptics rebut it. You come to your own conclusions, and now it's not so weird anymore. This is, I mean, John Brennan was out there talking about SAI, stratospheric aerosol injection. That's the art of sophistry. The art of sophistry is, I mean, this is the occult. This is the work of the occult, but it's not the occult like your next door neighbor who likes to wear gothic style clothes and black fingernail polish and black lipstick and black eyeliner and it's a teenage boy, right? That's not what this is. And, you know, and he kills the neighbor's cats, or he kills stray cats and paints symbols with their blood or whatever. That's not what this is. This is, I mean, that's the occult too, but I mean, you know, that's not what this is. This is the occult of the secret societies. This is the occult of the of people who are Satanists, who are in charge of multi-billion-dollar budgets, programs, budgets, agencies, enterprises, corporations, foundations, members of the ruling families of the world. Whatever their names are, I don't know, but everybody knows the names. Rothschild, and I can never remember all of the R's at once simultaneously. I can remember there's the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Roosevelts. There's a couple of other R's for some reason. There's a lot of R's, but and then obviously there's a lot of names that nobody knows. You know, we don't even know they exist. That's why I like what Ron Paul said. He said, when we audit the Fed, we'll find out who these people are. We'll find out who the deep state actors are, and there will be some very surprising names. There's no doubt. There will be some very mysterious names, like who the heck is that? Nobody's ever heard of them before. And then there will be some very common names, like the Bushes, you know, the Cheneys, or Dick Cheney. You know, probably like John Bolton, probably Donald Rumsfeld, you know, Barack Obama, the Clintons, George Soros. Some very common names, some very shocking names, like very common, but no, we would never in a million years suspect them. And then some very mysterious names, like who the heck is that? You know, people that own like Sikorsky helicopter, or people who own, you know, Halliburton, or people like, I don't know if Dick Cheney was the owner, but, you know, just people, titans of industry, basically, who petition the government to make a law. Because look, if you want to make $100 million, go start your own company and become successful. But if you want to make $100 billion, that's a little bit of a different proposition. So you're going to have to deal with some different type of people. If you want to make $100 billion, that's an entirely different ballgame. I mean, if you're trying to make that kind of money, you're talking about shaping societies. You're talking about manipulating the currencies of nations, which is the equivalent of shaping societies. You're talking about mass disinformation campaigns. You're talking about the dark stuff, and so you're going to be dealing with the dark actors, if you want to do that. And God only knows how you get into those circles. I don't want to know. I don't care, because I'll only end up there if God puts me there. I'm not going to overtly have the ambition to go there at all. I mean, I don't. That's not who I want to associate with, right? I mean, that's great. That's crazy world. These are the weird people. These are the people that when you talk about what they do, people judge you because what you're saying sounds so weird and so freaky. They think because you're talking about it, you're the weirdo. But in reality, all you're doing is describing what these other people do. All right? So they're the real weirdos. But the people who are listening to you say you're the weirdo because, number one, they can't believe that anybody actually does this. And number two, they're scared of those other people. And so they'll attack you instead of attacking them. Right? So, that might be it for today. It's been very interesting. I got really excited when I saw those airplanes flying in circles, making concentric circles of chemtrails. And then my son sent me pictures of them doing the same thing at the beach. Because apparently I used to think that when I was observing some type of a pattern in the sky, that I was looking at some type of a macro type of an operation. In other words, I had sort of a misconception that when it's that high, I'm looking at it from 1,000 miles away, or 40, or 70, 80, however high they are, I don't know. Supposedly they're really high. You take what John Brennan said, seriously, SAI, stratospheric aerosol injection, that sounds like something way, way up there, like 2 or 3 times higher than what regular commercial airliners fly. So that puts it into the 70 to 120,000 foot range. So when you're looking at something that far away, when I'm seeing something that is more or less the span of my range of view, I'm thinking to myself, that's the entire county. But I'm thinking maybe now, no, that's not necessarily the case. That might be a span of, let's just say 10 miles. It's a pretty good span, but it's not the entire county. Because, like I said, I saw them there, but then by the time we were through with breakfast, they were becoming fairly dispersed. And then my son sent me a picture of some that looked like they were brand new. So I don't think that they were I don't think they were the same chemtrails, number one. And number two, this is what gives me the impression that when I look at something that fills the range of my vision, or a good percentage of the range of my vision, it's not necessarily a macro type of an operation. Maybe it's something that covers my city, for example, as opposed to my county. So that's kind of an interesting sort of a development in my own mind in terms of the scale of things that I can see. Now, you have to keep in mind that when you're looking at something from your own neighborhood, by definition, you're looking at a local type of an operation, because if you're in your neighborhood, your field of vision is blocked by the foliage around you, the buildings around you. On the other hand, if you're looking at something from the interstate, which is in most cases really elevated and very much cleared in terms of things that are close to it, you get a pretty good panoramic view. So if you're seeing something there that fills the entire range of your vision, then I think that's it. You're looking at a different scale of an operation in that case. So anyway, I'm rambling, going on and on here for no good reason. God bless you. Thank you for watching. It's been a really exciting chemtrail day. I don't know why. I mean, it's population control, it's poison, it's preparation for 5G, it's it's geoengineering. it's whatever it is. I mean, I'm not going to pretend no, but I am going to fervently endeavor to entertain any and every idea about it that I can get my hands on, including the fact that it's nothing. I will entertain that idea, but every time I entertain that idea, I can't entertain that idea very long, because it just doesn't jive. It doesn't resonate, and it doesn't seem to make sense to me. So at this point in time, so God bless you again. Thank you for watching, and awareness is the key. I mean, we are the power. We the people, just regular people. The only way they can beat us is if we go to sleep. That's it. That's how weak they are. With all of their billions and all of their trillions, that's the only thing they can do to beat us, is for us to go to sleep, for us to sit down, for us to acquiesce and consent to let them have their way with us. And their way is simply their plans. It may not, if we sat and listened to them explain their plans, it may not strike us as being particularly evil or sinister or whatever, because it's very seductive, and it's very pedantic, and it's very clouded and shielded by all kinds of rhetoric and lexicon that we don't necessarily, we're not really privy to. The Google lexicon of that lady that is in charge of censorship at Google, James O'Keefe at Veritas recently got on secret or on hidden camera, saying that they're going to actively sabotage the election for Trump in 2020. Her title was Chief of Responsible Innovation. So that's what I mean by cloaked in unfamiliar lexicon. You don't really know what that means when you first hear it. I mean, it sounds so like rainbow-colored unicorns, happy, cheerful, honest, and sincere, and good for the children. That's what it sounds like. But in reality, what it is it's censorship. It's Orwellian. It's Orwellian kind of Chinese communist type stuff. So anyway, I just can't stop rambling. I'm an obsessive rambler. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you. Bye.